Hello, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. How's it going? How's everyone doing? I'm going to give a second for people to find me. It's been taking a little longer than normal. I don't know why. Just wait until at least one person comes on to make sure my broadcast is working, and I'm still talking to myself. But I do this if you're watching the replay, because then you just sit and stare at me, staring at myself. If you're watching the replay, let me know. Put it in the comments, tag me, so I can come back and say hi. Okay, I think that we are alerting our people. Welcome. I'm glad you found me. Okay, fun topic today. Back to the basics, right? The nuts and bolts of this business here. We're going to talk about pitching. Yeah, just getting into the nitty gritty. We are going to tackle just the things you have to just keep an eye on. Make sure you're double, triple checking. We all have those horror stories. Hi, it's been a minute. Nice to see you. Thank you for saying hello, Amy. We all have those horror stories, right? Of like, the pitch that went out, there was a mistake, there was something incorrect, and we frantically wish we could recall it. Now you kind of can if you catch it in time on Google or Gmail. Whoops, there I went. But these things happen. So we're going to go through a list of the 9 pitch elements that we want you to double check, triple check, have somebody else look at them if possible before you hit that send button. While we're talking about these things, we're going to also go through some tips on how to make your pitches stand out from the crowd, because we know our editor contacts get hundreds of pitches a day, at least 100 pitches, hundreds of pitches a week, but sometimes, multiple dozens or hundreds a day. So, sorry, this chair is always stuck on the carpet, so hear me rolling over it. Say hi so I know who's here. I already saw Amy. Hi. And I'm glad you guys are joining me for these kind of nuts and bolts chats, because I think they're really important. I've been doing this 19 years and I still love hearing about things I need to know about, keep an eye on, because I like to know that I'm doing it right, or my team is on top of it and still doing it right. And I also like to just stay top of my game. And like, no matter how, I always tell my kids, they're like, I already know how to do that. I already know how to do that. And I said, LeBron James knows how to play basketball, but he still practices every single day, like hours and hours every single day. If you want to be the top of your game, you have to continue to practice, train, educate yourself. And so those of you who are here, I notice it's usually people that have been doing this a really long time, and they're always committed to personal and professional growth. We love that. I can't talk to you and say hi unless I know who's here. So we're going to jump into the details here. I don't want you to look at this as having to totally overhaul your pitch writing process, but we want you to do these things in a targeted final review so you can ensure that all parts of your pitch are up to snuff. And it might add some extra time to the routine, but it is more than worth it, I promise, because you want to ensure that you have pitches that stand out from the crowd, that are factually accurate, edited properly, and they are grammatically correct. That is like a huge pet peeve of mine. I've definitely had it happen where I've sent it out. Sometimes you're like, how did I miss that? How on earth? That's why you say review with fresh eyes. Because every single time I do that, I'm like, how the heck did I miss that? That's so embarrassing. And it's just because, like, your eyes see what they want to see. They know what you're trying to say, so they fill in the gaps. When you take a minute and come back, That's when you notice stuff. Hi, Elizabeth. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. So, the 9 things that you need to have on your pitch email review checklist, like you have one, right? But let's talk about what you want to have top of mind. The first is your subject line engaging? It's the first thing that they're going to see. Your media contact is going to decide whether to open the email or not based on the subject. So you better make it good. We know short, sweet, to the point, grab a journalist's attention. But that doesn't mean clickbait, okay? Many editors will toss clickbaity emails right in the trash. They feel generic. They feel like they're not targeted and strategic. They just feel like, oh, sensationalist, open it. And they know it's not really for them. And anything that's confusing, hard to read, that is not going to inspire anybody to click. If the subject line is difficult to decipher, your media contact is going to think that your pitch is just more of the same. They're going to be like, I don't even know what's going on here. Why would I click this? It's going to be more, trash and more of a waste of my time. So you want to make sure that the subject line does connect to the full pitch, but it's not a summary, okay? It's enough to get them to open your email. That's it. That's the goal of the subject. Does this entice them to want to learn more about what is in this email? So you might pull out a relevant statistic in your subject line that's really compelling. Maybe it's the best, kind of bullet in your pitch that ties back to something that's or a study that just came out that has some powerful findings. Summarize the most relevant statistic in the subject. Keep things to the point. Don't beat around the bush with the main story. Don't hide, bury the lead, as they say. And just make sure that the subject's short and sweet, but entices them to open it. You can also, we've seen, include like brackets that say like gift guide, pitch, or brackets that will say, product launch or editorial pitch or something, so they know at the beginning of the subject, so they can see that this email is going to be a pitch email. You can even put their name in the subject, so it's really clear that it is not spray and pray. All of those things are you don't have to include all of them. Tony, hi. 3 to 5 words right into a subheading that is juicy and credible. Very aligned with what I totally agree. It's not easy to do. I see Facebook user. Hi, Jen. You must be watching on the other page. So tell me who that is, because I want to know who's here so I can say hi to you. But you don't have to use every single one of these strategies. But hi, Christine. It's been a minute. Oh my God. All of the tried and true, my old fans, they're finding me. Oh, hey, Nelson. I don't know why I can't see you. You must be on the Profitable PR Pros page, but I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you're doing well. So we covered subject line, short, sweet, compelling, get them to open it. Do not worry about summarizing your entire pitch. Pull out a meaty, juicy stat, like Tony said, 3 to 5 words right into a subheading that is juicy and credible. That's the first thing you're going to check. Second, is the contact's name correct? Oh my God. Seriously, tons of journalists receive pitches every single day with their name misspelled or completely inaccurate. So double check that the media contact's full name, and also check their title if there's a beat related to what they cover in your database. Check that, because you want to make sure they are still the relevant contact. So while you're double, triple checking how to spell their name correctly, you can confirm in your database, hopefully it's up to date. We have a database, very inexpensive, just down and dirty contacts that come from members of our community. So people that are like, hey, I am working with this journalist, super PR friendly, just did a feature for me in this publication, they'll put them in our database so that we know these are the people who are happy to hear from you. They get that you're there to make their jobs easier and they're PR friendly. So we put those in our database. We try really hard to keep it up to date. So wherever you are looking, double, triple check. And I lost my spot. So you're also going to look and make sure that they are where they were when you last had them on your list. If you follow them on social media, you should be up to date on any name or title changes or anything with like a recent marriage, they changed their name, or a promotion. Nelson is saying so many layoffs and changes in the media. It is crucial to make sure contacts are current. Absolutely. So when you have this correct name, that is just the very first step to building a strong relationship with your media contact. When you use their name specifically, it really signals to them that the pitch is written for them specifically. This is a fellow comms pro. It's not just, oh, no, Nelson didn't say that. Okay, so tell me who said that. Up above, I just can't see. So there's two people. Anybody that's watching on Profitable PR Pros, for some reason I can't see through my broadcast software because I guess I'm logged in as Generation PR and not as Jen. So tell me who said that so I can make sure I give you proper credit, but that's a very, very important point. You want to make sure that the journalist doesn't just see you seeing them as somebody who can give you what you want, give you press placement. They're a fellow comms pro to you, and you can build a respectful, mutually beneficial relationship with them. Calling them by the right name is literally the least that you can do. And I've seen so many people get it wrong. I have so many members of our community that are PR pros and have a connection to the media. They receive pitches. I receive pitches. I'm in a database as a media contact for a site that I used to do business development for. I get tons of pitches. And not only are the names incorrect, they're spelled incorrectly, they're hey there or hey editor, which is so weak. But you would be shocked and mortified how many people do a mass send without doing BCC. You will see hundreds of journalist emails, and people send these to me and they're like, how are we not millionaires? Because this person is coming from a big firm and they're doing this shady crap. We should be billionaires given the level of like detail and attention to the detail that we put into it. They're mass, you guys know what I'm saying, they're like mass pitching with everyone in CC instead of BCC, which is BCC is terrible also, but that could not be any lazier if they tried. And that's happening, and people are paying good money to their comms pros. Oh, Ermias, hi. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. It's nice to have you on. It's been a minute. So don't ever do that. You won't ever do that. You won't be lazy. But that is a big no-no. Make sure you never do that. It's shocking how many people do. Number 3, are you pitching the right journalist and publication? This goes back to Ermias's point that the media landscape moves fast. Journalists jump between publications, especially if they're freelancers or there's layoffs, and we want to be really sensitive to that. So double check your contact is still working with the publication that you think they are. The first place that they will update is probably their social media pages, and for sure LinkedIn, with any of their latest pieces and any job updates. So usually they're sharing their latest articles on LinkedIn and on their social platforms. So you can check how recently an article was published, what the content was. Are they still writing the content at the publications you think that they are? And then you can use a media contact database like Muckrack, Cision, We Love Prowly. If you are interested in experiencing Prowly, getting a free free trial. This is my link. I'm an ambassador for Prowly. We love it so much. Our members who have all had a trial, the more they check in and find all the nitty gritty like benefits in Prowly, they love it. So if you want to try it, use that link. I would be forever grateful. It would be amazing. But we also have our pure curated contacts database inside of the Pitch Lab. And I know several of you on here are members. If you would like to learn more, you're not quite a member yet, that's the link for that. Listen, I just do what my team tells me. They put these links in there, easy for me to copy and paste. I'm not here to sell you anything. We're here to educate. But there are more resources that will take you just to that next level. So if anything's changed that you've noticed on social, update their email address, what the beat is, what the publication is. You might even want to send them a DM and like reach out and just, hey, we used to work together at this publication. I see that you've taken on some additional responsibilities over here. I just wanted to let you know that I'll be, like, I found you in your new place, and I'll be reaching out to you. Let them know, and try to make that connection through social, because they're updating it there, and you're showing like I'm on top of it. I'm looking just to make sure that what I send you is accurate. You know what I'm saying? So when you have all of that new information, you might have to edit the email that you're sending as your pitch with that new publication and the new beat, or you might have to send it to an entirely different journalist if they're no longer covering content that's relevant to you and your clients, and you still want to pitch that old publication. You have to find someone else there. Okay. So use that information to ensure you're sending it to the right person at the right publication. If things change and you still think that publication is the fit for your client, find a fit for your pitch. And then number 4 is probably the most important and so easy to do and so often overlooked is your pitch personalized? So you want to obviously get their name right. That's one thing, but you need to personalize the rest of the pitch. So you open your email with a personalized greeting. It shows that you're checked into their work. You can compliment a recent piece of theirs only if you have read it. Don't just look, or if they're a blog post, or like a podcaster, don't just look at the last title or last interview and be like, I really liked it. Compliment the piece of theirs. Congratulate them on a job update. If they talked about tips and strategies in that article that you liked, let them know what resonated with you. Let them know if you've implemented any of those tips in your real life, or why what they said specifically resonated, and maybe like align your opinion with the thesis that they shared, and show them, I read your article, I know what you're up to, right? You can also congratulate them on like the job update like we talked about, or send well wishes for a personal event like marriage or birth of a child, or an upcoming trip, or a trip they just took. You can see all that on social. Do it in a cool way. Be cool. Don't be stalkery. Just try to show them, I see you. I see what you're up to. I get it. I'm aligned with you. I know that what I'm sending to you is for you and relevant to you. So you want to make sure that the pitch is totally personalized to their beat and the publication. If they have covered a similar topic recently, don't just send the pitch as it is. Think of a new, interesting angle that will help differentiate what you're pitching to them from that contact's recent work. Because you're not going to say like, oh, you just wrote this article on the 5 best LED masks, and that's what they're covering, right? And you're like, I have a 6th one for you. No, you don't have a 6th one for them. They are not going to update their piece. That's going to annoy them. You would say maybe that they covered all LED masks, this is my world, that are red light therapy, but you wanted to also let them know of the benefits of blue light therapy for the healing and, well, healing is a medical term. You can't really say that, but prevention of acne or my client actually is FDA cleared to say acne. If you notice, a lot of other products will say like redness because that's not a medical condition. Even skin tone. You can't say like melasma or hyperpigmentation because those are medical conditions. You would have to have an FDA clearance. So you see the little semantics there, but you can point out, I saw your piece covering the 5-top LED red light masks. I wanted to introduce you to the benefits of blue light therapy. And my client's mask uses blue light in a clinically proven setting to reduce acne. You guys still with me? It was a tangent, but I wanted to show you an example of how to not annoy them, but get your client in front of them in the right way. Don't send a pitch that is unrelated to the media contact's work. Beauty editor doesn't need a pitch about your client's new virtual cooking class, even if one of the ingredients is, or one of the things they make could be, I don't know, has an ingredient that's used in beauty products. No, it's not relevant. Don't invite them. That's not what they cover. Don't waste your time and don't annoy them. Are you guys with me still? I would love to hear any of your thoughts along the way of things that you double, triple check just to make sure that you are not, making big mistakes and annoying your contacts. Okay, number 5, are you telling a relevant, timely, and newsworthy story? Why are you pitching the story? And why is it important right now? You need to make sure that your pitch email answers those questions. And if it's not clear in that email, you need to rework it immediately before sending it. They only want to write about and publish stories that will provide value. Value is the key word here to their readers and the industry as a whole. They want these newsworthy stories that are truly valuable to their audience. So you can go through that old, elementary school, who, what, where, when, why, how, right? The basics. But make sure that your pitch covers those things in a relevant way right away. You want to consider why your client's product or service is relevant to their readers now. So today, why is this relevant to their readers and what impact could it have on your client's industry, which is your niche, right? You should have deep expertise in the niches that you're representing clients in. And that's the benefit because you know that the content that you're sharing, the ideas, the articles are truly newsworthy because you're an expert. You're dialed into what's going on, what's happening. So you want to paint a full picture for your media contacts so they know why they should care and then in turn why their audience should care. Okay? Are you with me? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a heart. You guys, it's like crickets out here. I'm here. I'm a person. I feel like I'm talking to myself because my dog's not even in the room. Maybe one of the cats is here. Oh, no, my dog is here. So pretend I'm talking to Lola. No, I'd love a heart. I'd love a thumbs up. I love we're halfway through the list. Are you with me? Okay, cool. Hi, Lily. I'm so glad you're here too. Hi. Okay. I love it. Good stuff, Jen. Awesome. Ermias, I love it. Thank you. Okay, 6 stats, claims, data. Love it. Always, 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 always check first. Fact check your pitch to ensure that stats, claims, data is accurate. Price points are accurate. We have had clients change the price point from the time we initially planned the launch and then the time they actually go to market. And we have sent out the wrong price point because we're going off of old information and they never called it out to us. That's not your client's job. They should, but if they don't, it is our job to triple check that the final price is what you're pitching to the media. You really don't get a chance to fact check anymore after I know Nelson, who's on here recently, did get a chance. You're literally the only one I know who recently had an opportunity to fact check. Nelson, most Articles, they just go off of what they find online, what's in your pitch, and then they publish. Sometimes you don't even get a heads up that they're publishing. So you have to ensure that your pitch has no errors in the stats or claims that you're making. Like I said, with those claims on the LED lights, unless your product has been FDA cleared to make certain medical claims, you cannot make them. Because if that gets published, you're now, violating FDA clearance on products making claims, medical claims. That's why you'll always see vitamins are like, this statement has not been backed up by the FDA, because they're not FDA cleared. So be careful if you're putting something in your body, like a pill, because it's not like a vitamin. They're not, for some reason, I don't know why. multi-billion-dollar industry, and not regulated really by the FDA, which is super interesting to me. So, okay, you're going to send a pitch that is factually accurate. If you send a pitch littered with errors and mistakes or things you have to go back and fix or grammatical errors, that is going to diminish your credibility with this contact, who theoretically should be a gatekeeper in your niche. For other clients, this is somebody that is beneficial for you to have a good relationship with. So if you diminish your credibility, you're going to seriously destroy your relationship, damage your relationships with this with your media contacts. You have to prove time and time again that you're a trusted source. So you're going to be prompt but accurate. You never sacrifice accuracy for speed, which is what we're seeing a lot now in the media. Everyone wants to scoop something first and fast, and then there's mistakes and they go back and, ask for forgiveness later. As PR pros, you never want to be the one that is responsible for your contact publishing something factually inaccurate. They will not reach out to you in response to your pitches or for expert quotes from your clients or your contacts if you have a history of giving them inaccurate information. And by history, I mean one time. Unless you have a very good relationship with them and you're like, client changed it on me, back it up, let me give you the right information, I'm so sorry, this, and they haven't published, they're going to be like, I get it, it's fine. But you also need to ensure that you're honest about your client's product. You don't oversell it, don't overpromise results if those results have not been proven by surveys, studies, like before and afters in a clinical setting, things that are like third-party verifiable. You can't make claims. Yes, Nelson did have a chance to fact check. Stats and data add authority to your pitch. We love it. It is definitely a great strategy to include it. So you need to make sure that what you're putting in there is correct. So double check with your client's team that all the data you've pulled is up to date and accurate. They might have an old study. Maybe there's something new that they've released. We had a client that we were pitching a product before the independent clinical study results were out, and it changed dramatically what we were able to say, because now there are specific claims that we could make that we weren't able to make before the study came out. So it became a lot more compelling, a lot more verifiable, and those stats made it a lot more interesting and more meaty for our contacts. By the by, if you have used AI to spark pitch angle ideas, you have to ensure triple, double, triple, quadruple check that none of the AI's original response has made it into your pitch. This is a huge no-no. Any pitch or any writing that feels like AI, like Bard, ChatGPT, anything that feels like it was generated through AI is going to get bounced, and you are going to get bounced along with it. It has a very specific writing style that is not emotional. It is not, anything that has like heart and soul to it. And you can add some creativity to it, but if that content is in your original pitch, that is a huge problem, because those AI platforms search the entire internet for information to craft their responses, and it can be inaccurate, it could be misinformation, or it could be plagiarized. If you get content from AI, you don't own that copyright. I've seen articles about people who've written entire books in the style of another author. And then maybe they go in, they give it a subject, you don't own that copyright. Okay. So if it is pulling information from the internet and there is something inaccurate, out of date, or the copy itself came from somewhere else, you are going to be in big trouble with your contacts. So promise me, be very careful. If you feel like you can't triple ensure that you're coming up with all your own information after it sparks a seed of idea for you, don't look at it, don't use it, because you don't want to have any tinge of something improper there. Be careful, okay? Because we've had members of our community who are like, I didn't even use AI and I got bounced from a platform. I think Quoted was like, this pitch is AI, and she was like, it's not, but they're over correcting just to be careful. Got it? Thumbs up. Got it. Get it. Got it. Good. So now we're on number 7. I got 3 more for you. And of course, if anything that you have had come up, I will tell you one of mine. Let me know, because I want to ensure that these pitfalls that any of us have experienced, we are all making each other better by giving you a heads up, getting it on your radar, and saying, don't do that. So number 7 is ensuring all of your links are working. So this is a very simple thing to check, but it goes a long way in your pitch emails. It's really easy to accidentally add a dead link to your pitch. It could be that there's like a little character that's missing when you copy it, or that the client might have updated the page's URL without you knowing it. And maybe it's a WeTransfer link with all of your assets and it's now expired, or somebody changed the Google Drive or the Google Docs links without sharing permissions. All of those things impact how a link works. So you have to triple check that they are still working. And when you go click a link that's a Google Drive, Google Doc, Google Sheet link, confirm that that link isn't just available to you because you're an editor, but it allows the person clicking it the right kind of privilege, whether that's comment privileges or editing or just viewing, whatever. It has to still give them access. They should not ever have to request access to a document. Many journalists don't have the time to do all of this, like searching and Googling themselves, if a link to your client's website is a dud. So if your pitch is including bad links, it'll be headed straight to the delete button trash bin. So before you send out your pitch, go through, check all the links, make sure they work, the pages are correct, any dead links are updated, sharing permissions are updated, any expiration dates. And if you're sharing additional documents like images, videos, any graphs, charts, anything like that in a Dropbox, Google Drive, make sure everything that's supposed to be in the file is in the file, and that things that are not supposed to be in that file are not in the file. And I'll give you an example. And remember, no attachments. A link to all of your documents is great. No attachments. I'm not going to say who, but somebody I know was sharing when people signed an NDA, they could have access to a data room in reviewing a company to kind of see, what their customers were all about, what, or not their customers, but like the point is their customer list was in this drive. And everybody that signed an NDA was reviewing this company to kind of see if they would be interested in purchasing this company, but they were all strategic buyers, meaning that every one of them would benefit from having access to this company's client list, their customer list. So like Shopify will put together a list of all their customers that have ever bought. You could market to them, all of that. And they all signed an NDA. They all, did everything properly, but the customer list was in this drive that they all had access to. So now all of their customers were now potentially going to be contacted, and it could have been really bad. Journalist doesn't need to see any of that on there or in there. And another thing I will also warn you about is if you are doing a mail merge and you're sending something from a document, like a Word document, and you're using Outlook and you're doing mail merge, quadruple check that track changes are not included in that document. And that has happened to a member of our team. It was mortifying. It was a business pitch. It had all of the clients' feedback on it. We could not see the track changes, but on the client's end, they did have it in there. I don't know. I still don't know how that happened, but I took ownership of that because it's my company, and I had to say, this happened, this definitely happened, and mortifying. I reached out to the writer, never worked with them again. The writer contacted the client and told them, but I had already taken ownership, so it wasn't like this big, like, aha, but mortifying, right? So triple check that you don't accidentally copy over your track changes in the final pitch, because somehow those things, like, how sometimes an email gets sent and the formatting comes back and it's clear that like parts of it had been copied and pasted. You also want to ensure that you are putting it, what I do is I put it into a document with no formatting. So I'll put everything together into a document with no formatting. So if there's weird sizes of fonts that are different, or there's a part that you're changing from one editor to the next, and the rest of it just looks copied and pasted in sections, sometimes those changes in indentation or font size or font style show that this is like a patching copy paste job. So I will go into a document, totally blank document, copy paste with no formatting, double check it's how I like it, and then put that into my email. Does that resonate? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I hate that. Or I'll send an email and it looks super good, and then the client will like reply back to me, and then mine is all like weird indentations and wonky, and I'm like, what happened? And it is because parts of it came from other places and we're just compiling it in one spot, and you're like, oh, that looks really bad. You guys are so quiet today. I'm over here like bringing the heat. Let me show you my dog because she's so cute right now. Those are my weapons right there. Look. Oh my God. Hi, Lola. She's so cozy. It's very cold and rainy here, and she's like, if you're not going to take me on a WALK, then I'm going to curl up in a little ball and not participate. Elizabeth, let me get back to you at the end here. We're almost done. I have two more. The second to last tip I have for you, number 8, is your call to action CTA. If you don't know, like call to action CTA, is it motivating? Your pitch email should always end with a clear call to action for that contact. What is their next step that they should take in order to kind of move this forward? So this could be scheduling an interview with your client, chatting with you further, answering questions, requesting additional information to kind of flesh out the story. It could be confirming their address for a sample send, just very clear. Like in that case, I would say, Please confirm this is your current address. And I'll pull it from my database or where I've sent stuff in the past. I won't say, what is your address? Because then they just won't write you back. But if you're like, is this correct? They'll say like, yeah, that's my address. And now you have permission to send what you were going to send, but make it really clear, because an effective call to action is empowering, it's direct, it's succinct, it's very motivating. So don't beat around the bush or be vague in the next steps that they should take. You can phrase the call to action as a question to prompt a direct response from your contacts. You could say something like, is this something you're interested in covering? Let me know the best time, and I can set up an interview with my client. It's more direct and more clear than, if you're interested in this story, please reach out to schedule an interview. Subtle, but you see the difference. Let me know the best time to set up an interview with my client is more of a specific call to action. And it'll get you one step closer if they take you up on it. The last tip I have for you, obviously this goes without saying, but I think a lot of these are very like, okay, double, triple check, but like we know this. Grammar, spelling, you have to be perfect. Is it all correct and accurate? Journalists specifically, and raise your hand if this is you, because I know a lot of PR pros. Do you judge people who have poor grammar? Be honest. I do. And I tell my kids, they're like, no one's going to need to know about, there, and there, or were and we are. And I'm like, you think that people are going to be using Grammarly and talking like they're on text, but there's going to be a situation where you are writing something formally and you use the wrong version of the word, and people are going to think you're automatically not as smart as you are. Or on the flip side, the people who do use proper grammar are going to be seen as more, with it. Nobody? Me? Only me? Come on. There's quite a few of you on here. Yeah, I see. Somebody said yes with the heart. I mean, like if I'm talking to a customer service representative and they say like, you're welcome, and it's YOU apostrophe RE, I'm like, ooh, like they're smart, I don't know. I know that's like really, not very nice, but it's like when writing is your primary function in your job, you become very particular. So, you have to proofread your pitch emails before you send them, but it is always, always worth repeating the review with fresh eyes. You want to ensure that the grammar is correct, spelling is correct, because just like including inaccurate information, if you have improper grammar or bad spelling, that will damage your credibility with that writer and potentially in your niche. So don't forget to fill in any placeholders that you've had, like if you have, like a little bracket and a TK and it's highlighted, to put in the price at some point or update the, key ingredients or whatever. You want to make sure that that is all fixed. Any little notations, any track changes, like I said, any spelling error that slips through the cracks could have a big impact on the final pitch. Yes, Amy, it's versus it is. I mean, yes. And everyone gets that wrong. Not everyone, not us, of course, not you, Amy, not ever. So many people get that wrong. They just automatically assume it is IT apostrophe S, which is a contraction for it is, and ITS is possessive, which is totally the opposite of what people learn, because they learn an apostrophe is possessive. They also will pluralize their family name and do like an apostrophe S. And it happens every year at Christmas and holiday time. And I'm like, oh my God, who's going to tell them? Any spelling error that slips through the cracks could have a big impact on the final pitch. So think something like an incorrectly spelled expert name or an incorrect source name or a product being misspelled, or the brand name not being written the way that the brand uses their name. Like sometimes it'll be all lowercase, or sometimes it'll be like two words mushed together with no space, or like two capitalized letters in the word. Make sure you are always using the brand name the way that the clients like their brand name to be written. Look at your pitch with a fresh set of eyes, have somebody else look at it in a different format. So you want to review it from your phone. Maybe an editor is looking at their phone. You want to make sure that it's readable from your phone, or even print out your pitch and read it so that you have a hard copy to look at and edit, because that will always give you like a different perspective. Sometimes on the screen, your eyes miss stuff. So print it out, grab a pen, and look at it with clear eyes. So yeah, I have a free media pitch template that I cannot link to right now for some reason, because I am not quite broadcasting in all my places. But I'm sorry about the tech difficulties here. I don't know why the internet keeps going out, but thank you for sticking with me. Those of you who are still here, I know one of the other broadcasting streams dropped off, so I lost a lot of people, but thank you for being here. If you're interested in the free pitch template and a 3-step proven framework for landing big features in top tier outlets, send me a DM on Facebook and I'll link you specifically to the free media pitch templates. Have you seen what's going on with Haro? It's laughable. I know, I know. Yeah, that was a long time ago, though. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Peter has been gone for over a decade, well over a decade, actually. Anyway, I'll ensure next time I come live that I'm not interrupted, because I really appreciate that you're here with me. And when there's weird, glitchy stuff, it's annoying and most people leave. So those of you who stayed, I'm so grateful. Okay, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye, guys.